about this book called Pajama Profit, and
Mm.
there I got to know more about UX
Yeah,
design.
I don't know things. You have to
Yeah,
learn. You have to
yeah.
learn.
Of course, have done a practice of 10,000 hours, but
What is up? What is up, everyone? How are you guys doing? Welcome back to the podcast. And it's been a long, long time that we have doing this. And today we have a very special guest, a close friend of mine, and we're gonna talk about a lot of things, a lot of crazy things, and hope this all helps you out. Soumya, I'm gonna get you on board. What is up, Soumya? What's happening?
hi. Good rainy day in Bangalore, sipping some tea and working inside blanket. That's what was happening.
Nice. I think that's everybody's days in Bangalore till this
Yeah.
rain comes up. But yeah.
Yeah.
So even this time, Delhi people cannot say like Bangalore is not cold. Yeah.
Global warming.
Yeah. What's up? What's happening? So I really want people to kind of first know you, and then
Mhm.
we're gonna start the postcard. So up to you. Introduce yourself.
So I am engineer sorry, and I found design in my fourth year. So like I was basically in a rat race of finding. I was basically giving a CAT exam, and I was not able to find something that really matches my passion, my interest. But I was like, okay, till the time I'm not getting something, so let's do what everyone is doing. But during my fourth year, one of my friends told me that, hey, you are a creative person and you should just do something like that's which kind of matches your passion. Like you could do something about that. And he told me about UI UX design, but I was like not that much keen into that at that point of time. But like long story short, I took the advice very seriously, and I started self learning UI UX design and get into that. Basically, I got an opportunity in a fintech startup, and I was working there as a UX designer. And like after that, I went to 10K designers to learn more about nitty gritty of product design. So from there, I got another opportunity to in a full time B2B travel and expense company, Italite. So there I was working as a full time product designer, and then freelance thing happened to me because I used to do a lot of illustrations, and also I went to an freelance side of things, and currently I just converted my freelance into full time. So working at a US based company as a product designer. Yeah,
Super awesome, super awesome. Obviously, we're gonna get a lot deep dive into every aspect of that, but
yeah.
let's just start with a curious question I ask everyone. What made you curious about design,
Mhm.
and how kind of you properly transition from that engineering background to design?
So for me, I never thought that we could do something like just purely design, and that too in tech and product. I had this idea of graphic design, and only like I have heard of just of graphic design, logo design, all those things, but I never thought that in a product you can also the design is also there. So basically, when I got to know that there is something which requires you to think analytically, as well as you need the creative thinking also in that, I become really curious because when I used to think of going purely into art, because I really love to draw and do all those creative stuff, but the problem with that was you can't think like I mean there's no like what do you call there's no need of thinking logically, or it
Hmm.
doesn't require your analytic brain. And being an engineer, I really miss that part also. So I was looking out for something which is, really a good overlap of logic as and creativity. And UI design was like perfect, a sweet spot of among everything. So that's what made me keen to UI design. So yeah.
Super interesting, super interesting. I just want to know more about your college experience, how that has been, and how a small aspect of that kind of led to
Mm.
like getting into design properly.
Um, so like I start from my school because in like everything that I am right now, I feel like when I connect the dots, how I was. So I think I meant to do this. So in my school days, I was like very creative person. I like to just to escape from my studies and academics. I used to just go and make posters from my school notice board, and basically I was known for that, like, hey, this girl makes really good school notice board poster. So my teachers also used to appreciate me for that. But at that time, I got to know about NID, SEED, and all those things, that there are design school exams. But I was not really prepared for that. Uh, and my mom was like, "Okay, तुम्हें कुछ उतना पता नहीं है इसके बारे में, जो सब करते हैं तुम वही करो." And I was like, "Okay, let's." I mean, अब मुझे बाद में ही पता चला, अब सब इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे हैं तो let's do it. Go for engineering only. So, but when I came to my engineering college, I was like, let's explore everything and let's go to any lengths and bit I could. So basically, my branch is electronics and communication. So I thought, ki, in a tech fest, you make these robotics bots, and you take part in tech fests, and like there is some bot racing and all those things happening. So I made a bot, and I took part in one of a competition. Nothing happened, but I thought that robotics is really cool and you can make so many things. Like I could go in IoT, Internet of Things, and build a cool products. Um, but that was a phase, and I got bored from that. And then I thought कि इसमें उतनी creativity नहीं है, which I am finding. So then I hop on to coding. So everyone was doing this front-end development, Python, and all those things, learning cool languages. So I thought, like, let's try front-end development. Maybe I could do something about it, because fourth year में जाके सभी everyone goes for this placement, IT for IT companies. So I learned front-end development by my own, from Udemy, and there is a lot of courses out there. So I used to learn HTML, CSS, and maybe build like a small websites. So I used to do that. Um, and then I thought, ki, like, this is not, I'm not enjoying coding. So then I was like, अब ये सब करते करते fourth year आ चुका था, and my mom was like, now you need to get serious. You need to like think of your career, like what will you do exactly. And that's why I was like, okay. So while I was at my college, I used to participate in a lot of extracurricular competitions, and do all those things. So one competition I always took part in was presentation giving competition. I thought like I really love to go and speak on stage, or like and give presentation. But the thing was, I really love designing the presentation, the pitch deck. And because of this misunderstanding, I thought कि I love to be a manager, or because मुझे presentation देना अच्छा लगता है. And I went for CAT, that's why. Because I thought I'll become manager, and हाँ presentation देनी रहती है, तो I'm good with that. But yeah, CAT scores was really horrible. And then I got to know, yeah, this is not for me. But I realized, I introspected ki what's that thing. And then as I told that one of my friend kind of put this idea of UX design in my brain, and rest is history. I kind of explored that part, and yeah, came here.
Super interesting, super interesting. Let's go more dive deep into this. So when did you said that you did a lot of competitions and you kind of
Hmm.
introspected that design is something that you really want to explore? How
Hmm.
did you kind of go forward with that? Like you told me that you joined 10K. How did 10K came into picture, and how did that kind of evolve and slowly and steadily into a product
Hmm.
design role?
So, like when I just started in UX design, so basically, my first job also was a mix. It was not purely design. It was basically a UX developer role. So here I had to do some bits of front end development as well as the design part. So it was not pure design job role. Um, so I wanted to know more about, and also how, what happens in a small startup is that you are doing small things of every bit. You are basically debugging stuff. You are doing some GitHub wala part. You are just seeing like how things are working in the like AWS and all those things you're doing basically. But I really wanted to know more about what it is product design, what happens there, and I how I started was that I came to know about this book called Pajama Profit, and there I got to know more about UX design, and I thought ki, UX design is a skill which you can self learn, and from there I got to know about Abhinav, and then I saw his YouTube videos. So he has this design crash course on his YouTube, and there I was like, okay, this is exact thing I was looking for. What's the exact process like? So he had break down that whole design process in really good structure way, and I really wanted to know more about it. So I joined, like, while I was doing this full time UX design job, my first job. I used to I was very active in the Telegram group that they had made in 10K designer. There was a Telegram group in for 10K designers. That was the first thing, that community thing that happened in 10K designer. And there, a lot of people used to ask questions. You could ask question, and then he used to reply that where we are going wrong, or he used to give answers to all the queries. So there, I got to know about, hey, he's really a good person, and he can become my like mentor. And but I when he made the Discord group, and then introduced 10K designer first cohort, I didn't had the money to straight away go. Like, I had to ask my mother or someone to pay for it. But I didn't really want like, I didn't want to do that. I want to self finance the whole cohort by my own money, because I was not sure that if this goes south, my mom will be like telling me, "एक तो एक तो तुम इतना सा कमा रही हो, and then you want, like, you ask me for money, and then this is also not a, like, you're not doing anything about this." So I waited for two cohorts and like saved a lot of money to pay for the fee, and then in third cohort I went in, and it was really good experience there, like, worth it. Yeah, that's how
Super
it
awesome.
happened. Yeah,
Awesome, awesome. I think that's how everybody kind of gets into design. They have to find that
yeah,
particular
yeah,
mentor who kind of leads them to exactly where they want to be.
yeah.
Uh, just going through this process, I really want to ask, uh, what kind of impact did 10K make, like, to
Hmm.
your life, or what do you think it does make to the fellow designers that you have? Like, how do you think that kind of impacted you to become, like, get the job or get to a place where you want to be?
So basically, before 10K Designer happened, I had a very, very linear thought process, like how you can get a job or earn money. So
Hmm.
I used to think that you have to sit for these, placement test in with a lot of people, and there, if you get selected, then you will get to go to the second round, interview round, and then you have to negotiate your salary with HR, and you'll get some nuts in your hand, and then you have to like, I mean, there is no way. Basically, that's how the job. job process and placement process happens, and that's the only way you could, that's the only path you have to go through to earn money.
Hmm.
But when I came to 10K designers, I got to know, hey, there are a lot of non-linear paths. You can create your own path, you can create your own opportunities and go for it. Um, so when I was at 10K, I made like I was not on Twitter, so I made my Twitter account after joining 10K, and then I used to put a lot of my work there. And you will not believe, I got two jobs from on Twitter DMs. I got my place where I'm living in from the Twitter itself, and that's the power of Twitter. So basically, I from 10K I got to know a lot about how you can create your own opportunities, as well as I had like a big network of people that I know now, because previously I just knew people from my state, my place where I live in. That's what my I was constrained to. I had friends from Raipur itself, so I belong to Raipur, and I was living there for like 24 years there. So now I just have like these bunch of people with me who I can contact for anything. So network, how to get opportunities in non-linear way, how to create your own opportunities, and a lot of things. Yeah. So that's what I got from 10K.
Super awesome. I think one unique factor about this is that that's a design cohort, so they're gonna teach design. But one thing that I really like is
Mm-hmm.
the experience that you kind of the things that you experience inside the cohort did not only taught you about how to be a better designer, but also taught you about how to be a better person and how to become a
True.
better designer in terms of negotiating, finding the right
Yeah.
opportunities, being the best version of yourself. I
Yeah.
think that was the main factor for sure. And I love the fact that you said networking and the power of social media. The one thing that you said that leveraging the social media to get opportunities, it's a unique
Yeah.
trait to have for sure.
Yeah.
Super awesome. Now I'm gonna ask like I know you recently converted to full time, but you were doing freelance for quite a while. How why did you kind of choose freelance over like any product based or any job at a company? Like obviously I know because of
Mm-hmm.
your experience and 10K, people can get that, and you obviously you I know you personally, so you could have gotten that. Why did you choose freelancing over anything like that?
Um, so before going to freelancing, I had experience of 1.6 years
Mm,
as a full-time role.
mm,
But being a freelancer, so when I was doing my full-time role, I used to do freelancing at site. Um, and what really made me interested was that I can use I know this skill. I know the skill design. I know the UI UX design skill.
mm,
And so why should I limit it to one company, one entity,
mm,
or one place? Um, and also, why should I book all my time for this one thing? Like
mm,
I can basically use my skill to cater so many needs and so
mm,
many people. And at first, I really wanted to sample a lot of, you know, um, a lot of domain, basically designing for a lot of domain. I didn't want it, ठीक है, you went to healthcare and then you're designing for that like small pod you went in, and then you're designing for that specific flow, and that's it.
mm,
At like when you just become a designer, you should do the full-time thing, but you should also like design for really variety of domains, and just see like, okay, what do you really like, which domain like makes you more interested in. So that was my main goal doing freelancer, because being a freelancer, you can choose, okay, आज मुझे like healthcare में I'm interested in healthcare, so I want to see, okay, let's check कि what happened, what are the design constraints that are there, what are the rules that you have to keep in mind while you're designing for healthcare. So I, because like three domains that I went in was I designed for SaaS, I have designed for healthcare, then third one was I designed for fintech also. So all these three domains are different, and I had different experience designing for all these three type of domains. So now I can say, like, there was this one book I was reading called Mastery, and there's this really good line that's there. Basically, you basically whatever, like, a master is someone who has of course have done a practice of 10,000 hours, but basically you are mixing two different things and making something a really good thing, like innovating a
Hmm.
good thing. And that happens when you're doing a lot of different things. So that was my psychic key. I want to do a lot of different things and not go into like one domain and just creating for that, and like narrow it down in the initial years of my career.
Amazing. I think
Yeah,
that's what freelancing led you to do, kind of explore different places,
yeah,
not bound you to a single place, industry, category, whatever
yeah,
people want to say it. But I think freelancing gave you that freedom to kind of
yeah,
explore different places for sure.
yeah.
Super interesting. Uh, just a follow-up question. How was your freelancing journey going? And how that you obviously there will be ups and downs. How did you kind of
Mm.
face them? What kind of ups and downs did you face?
So, at the start, when I was freelancing with my full-time role, I was not able to keep up the pace. And the only reason that I chose, I just want to do freelancing and not do it with my full-time role was you are not doing justice to both the work, because there will be a
Mm,
time where you are burned out, and you can't give your equal amount of time or equal amount of energy to both of these things. So ऐसा हो रहा है कि एक चीज को तुम पूरा अपना टाइम दे दे रहे हो, अपना पूरा सब, एंड देन सेकंड चीज वो साइड लाइन हो जाती है. So that was happening with me, and I used to feel really guilty that hey, I don't want to do this because this other people, the other person, they are giving me like they are expecting a good job to be done. I don't want to do make them unhappy or just give something below average. I want to
mm,
do my best. So
mm,
that was one of the reasons that I was like, okay, I did the freelancing with my full-time job for 3 months, and then I took a break, 1 month ka break where I was just doing my job, and then I realized that let's give it a shot. I gave myself like 6 months from January to June, July, and I wanted to see like where freelancing will take me. Am I able to earn amount, like the amount of money that was I'm earning in my full time role, can I earn match that level or maybe
mm,
earn more? So my idea was like, let's give myself 6 months, and if nothing works out, so I'll go back to my full time thing. So the
mm,
only challenge that comes is that you will get burnout when you're doing full time and freelancing. And in freelancing, there's this one thing that happens is like right now also it happens with me that when you're in a job, you are in, set, you're basically you are in proximity to your colleagues. You're basically meeting them regularly, or you have like group of those people whom you are hanging out with. But when you're freelancing, there is no one. You're doing it alone,
mm,
and you really feel alone at times. And basically, to just escape from that, you really
mm,
need to like take the time and put out on all the things that you might like to do. Like maybe you're doing your side projects, maybe you are engaged in this like a lot of communities, other communities, meeting people. Like you have to put the effort in the to make the network, and maybe engaging yourself in other things. You have to
mm,
put the money to buy the enjoyment, basically, because
mm,
you're not getting all those things when you are freelancing and not in a full-time company, full-time job role.
mm.
Yeah.
Amazing. I think that kind of guides people a lot about there will be obviously ups and downs, and you have to
Hmm.
figure that out what
Yeah.
really you want to do,
Hmm.
and that's how you kind of take the initiative.
Yeah.
The next follow-up question would be, what kind of tips would you like to give people who want to do freelancing? because being done for quite a while, what kind of tips you would give anyone who is trying to do freelancing?
Basically, first would be try to learn the skill properly. You should not be like, okay, now I have, like, you should not go freelance when you have like below average skill,
Hmm.
because it gives a lot of pressure, and you just feel like, basically you're working below the means, as in, the person who is hiring you will not be happy. You will
Hmm.
not be happy with the amount they are paying, or maybe they are just making you iterate a lot.
Hmm.
But if you are like this hustler, so maybe you can take up the projects, and maybe just by doing projects, you can learn by doing. Basically, you can do that. But at least try to learn the skill properly when you go
Hmm.
into freelancing, before going into freelancing. Second is, try to learn how to be professional, how to communicate properly with the client. Because a lot of people, what happen is that they are not that professional, they're ghosting their clients, not talking to them. You should over communicate, but you should
Hmm.
never under communicate
Hmm.
anything, because freelancing is remote. They don't know what's happening. They and the clients, you should just think that they are putting money on you, and they don't know that what kind of job you are doing, what you will deliver. So they are always a bit worried, like what they will get, what will the outcome will be. So you have to basically show them the outcome,
Hmm.
and make good relationship with them, and try. You have to put efforts there. Once the relationship is set up, they know you are good and you will do the job. Then maybe you can just like ease down and do your thing. But like, you have to build a relationship. You should know that how to build a strong relationship with the client. This is the second thing. Third is, you need to know to negotiate. And basically, if you have the you know you have been doing this job for like, quite long, and you know that you deserve more, so you should negotiate, and in a way that they should not feel bad to give you more. And basically learn to negotiate with the client. um, so these are few things that really helped me to get started. But of course, you have to have some work out there. So for
Hmm.
me, what worked was having a case study. At least some portfolio should be there. Maybe 2, 3 case study, at least one good case study should be there. So
Hmm.
if because just put yourself in shoe of a person who is hiring a freelancer. You
Hmm.
will not go with a person who has no work in their portfolio. You can't say, "Hey, I'm a UX designer. Can I work for you or design something for you?" They want to see how you like. What would be the output of my brief, my work that I'll be assigning you. So
Hmm.
have some work in your portfolio to show to your clients. And of course, put yourself out everywhere, in LinkedIn, on Insta, on your Medium, on like anywhere you could. Put out yourself everywhere. That's the thing. So increase your reachability and discoverability.
Super
Yeah.
interesting. I think my next question would have been, what kind of tips would you give to people who are trying to find clients as a freelancer? But I think this answers the question about
Yeah.
putting out the content, putting your work out, having a good portfolio, putting your work on the social media. I think opportunities kind of get back to you if you kind of put your work out, show
Yeah.
yourself, show your work. I think I recently started reading this one. Nothing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So and the reason basically was because a lot of people kind of gave me also the tips, and a lot of other freelancers, about showing your work out, and I think that's what resonate. That what gives back to you. Uh, and that's what I people suggest people, like putting your work out without the hesitation of being judged is really important. Or always take the feedback critically, for sure.
Yeah.
So super interesting. One of the question I really want to ask from you, like obviously you converted to full time now, but what's next for you? What's your plan in your mind? What's next for Soumya? I really want to ask that.
So for a very, very long time, I was so much, into, I have to go out from my home and I need to settle. I mean, I just need some change and settle into a place outside of my home. So that's why I came to Bangalore. And I was so much into, okay, I need to, make this space really cool and whatever I have thought or fascinated with. So a very long time, my mind was busy into this, but now I have settled down. Basically, I am picking all my hobbies that I used to do. Illustration was one of those. I used to illustrate and put it on my Instagram account. So
Hmm.
apart from my work, that was one thing I was doing. But now for work, I want to learn interaction design. So
Hmm.
I want to like explore that part, as well as I'm trying to learn the product management side of things, because like in my company, I have started to talk to the clients directly, and there are people under me who I'm working with. So I want to like really learn that how to manage things really well, because being a designer, you are just focused on your work. But now when you're managing, when you're talking to clients, you have to learn about prioritizing, okay, what to pick up first, what to and how to pick up first, like
Hmm.
what reasoning is there, which
Hmm.
feature, also if you need to know about the development side of the things also.
Hmm. Hmm.
So learning those things, and yeah, that's what I am doing right now, picking up my hobbies and learning more about the product management side of the things. Yeah.
Super interesting, super interesting. I think that really helps because as you kind of grow in your career,
Yeah.
uh, you can't say I don't know things. You have to
Yeah.
learn. You have to
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah.
And that's really really important. I really want to ask one of the last questions. This is one of the last questions I really ask everyone who comes as
Mm.
guest on the podcast is what tips or advices you would give to a budding designer who's just starting to design their journey in design industry? Any one, two, three tips would work, but what tips would you give any budding designer?
Um, this one will be kind of redundant, but start by basically copying the good designs, good apps, good good design anywhere. If you see like, okay, this is really cool, try to copy that on Figma. Learn the tool really well. That would be my second thing. Learn Figma really well. Um, Third thing would be learn about the foundation. So foundation for design are color,
Hmm.
typography,
Hmm.
layout, and just learn everything about it. And
Hmm.
as you just, because everything is like, we think यार ये चीज हम एकदम अलग से बैठ के इसको सीख लेंगे यार, ऐसा नहीं होता है. You have to make your hands dirty. You have to go into the field
Hmm.
and do that. So start by maybe take up a small project, that hey, I'll do 20 days of copying apps, or
Hmm.
20 days of color. So in color, maybe you are just deciding, hey, these are really good color combinations, and I'll make a screen out of it, or make a maybe a poster out of it. That's how you can practice. Start practicing, because each and every product designer I see now was a visual designer or graphic designer back then, and that's the reason
Hmm.
they are really good product designer.
Hmm.
And right now, what happened is we directly, go to product design. हमने engineering की, हमने product design पे चले गए. And we never met graphic design, visual design, and made our hands super dirty in that part. So that's what's one of the reason I went to BX, branding experience cohort, and there I learned about all these parts, and I basically did freelance also as a brand designer, because I really wanted to know what goes there in the when you go into more visual design side of things. So learn, practice, and like first 3 years, so just do everything in design. And then only just go move forward for the with the strategy part and all the things. Of course, you can take a sample of everything and decide, okay, this is something I really like, and make that your strength. But
Hmm.
yeah, this is one of the things that you could do. Some of the things that you could do.
Perfect, perfect. Sounds super good. I think these kind of insights really help designers
Yeah,
to kind of understand what is really important to being a designer. And one
yeah,
thing I really love that you said is about like we don't we don't do practical shit. We just listen to like this, okay. But you have to kind of experience to do that.
yes,
Uh, to understand that really well. Like you said, if you see something that's really good, try it out. Who's stopping you? Try it out. So
true.
and I think that's the best approach to learn design. Super awesome, Soumya. Anything else before we end this podcast that you want to say to the audience?
Um, One thing I'll say is, like I'm also doing it for myself. Apart from your work, like now if you have, or like if you are in a full-time role and now you're doing your job, instead of doing partying on Saturdays and Sundays and doing all those corporate shit, you can take up a side project, you can take up a hobby, read a book, maybe learn a new instrument, maybe you could go for anything that you basically when what you used to do in your childhood,
Mm,
learn art, painting, or maybe you went for any sports, badminton, basketball, anything. Just do something with apart from your work and keep
mm,
yourself busy in that side, like make like have some side projects, side hustles, and all those things, because there will be a point of time when you will get really bored of your work, and then you'll just start drifting towards uh, maybe other things which are not important in your life. A lot of dating, a lot of maybe taking substances and all those things, partying a lot. But yeah, that's not something you should do. But yeah, that's one of my, like, I'm not saying, no offense, but you should just do something with your time, more something with your time.
agreed, agreed. I think as a designer, this is especially important because we are creative person. We are taken as a creative
Yeah,
person in a
yeah,
company in the world, and if we don't explore ourselves and our options, like how are we called creative?
yeah,
And I think like even for me, we even talked about this. Like I'm taking some of the side projects on weekends, and I think even for me, like while I'm as a designer, because I have an engineering background, I'm trying to do some projects which kind of combines both of them, and I'm experiencing that part because being creative and trying to solve problems, that's what my skill is, and I want
yeah,
to hone that. And whole fully taken this point, and I think I'm gonna push it out as well that people should be taking some side projects and I think utilizing their time in the better way,
yeah.
for especially for
In
designers.
in one word, if I say, keep creating.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah,
Super awesome, Soumya. Super awesome. Super nice to have you today. And I think people are gonna love this podcast, and they will get a lot of insights from it. Thank you so much for coming out, and thank you so much
my
for
pleasure.
kind of showing up. For sure, I will leave your socials in the description for anyone who want to reach out to you. Super awesome, guys. Super awesome, the audience.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much
Soumya.
for having me, and believing in me and
It's
giving me the red carpet.
that's part of the deal. But for sure, I think people are definitely going to get a lot of it. I think that's the whole purpose of this. Like people understand your journey, and people can take even a single big piece of piece of the journey and kind of implement that. That's the most important part. That's where I will say the impact has happened. But super awesome to the audience, and thanks for
Thank
staying till
you.
the end. And see you guys in the next one.
Bye.